Welcome yogis. This is Jenna from Ashtanga Yoga Shropshire, and today's video is about your Drishti in your yoga practice. What is Drishti? Drishti literally translates to looking place, and it refers to our focal point with our eyes as we transition and move through our yoga asana. Every asana, every yoga pose has its own Drishti. For example, when you're in a standing balance pose, your Drishti will be off the tip of the nose. Nasagra Drishti. We gaze off the tip of the nose, so we're staring directly in front of us. Then our senses are drawn in and away from the external stimuli. Withdrawal of senses from external objects. This is pratyahara, and this is what we are looking for as part of our practice. Withdrawal of senses from external objects. And the Drishti, the looking place, is one of those things that can help us to do that. So like I was saying, in a standing balancing pose, if you're staring off the tip of the nose or you're gazing from the tip of the nose, you are going to find balance and stability easier, faster, more efficiently. If you're in a standing balance pose and you're looking left, right, you're looking around, see what's going on, there's a light there, there's music there, there's all this stuff drawing your attention away from you and what is going on in that moment. So we draw the attention with our Drishti, as well as our breath and our bandha and all the other things, but this video is about Drishti. Okay, so another example, when you're in downward facing dog, the Drishti for downward facing dog is called Nabhi Chakra Drishti, which refers to your navel. Now, some of us, when we practice yoga, will never ever be able to look at the navel. You'd have to actually break your bloody neck to do it. So it's not going to happen. But for some of us, it will happen in time. So we tend to say that we'll begin with looking between the feet, then between the knees, and then at the navel. Okay? It's a continuous evolving journey, and we're working with grace and with respect of our body and what we can and cannot do. Anatomically, our necks are built differently. I know we all have the vertebra, the cervical spine, but bones and joints and things, they're all made and they all fit together slightly differently, and it may just be a tiny little difference between you and the next person, but that difference might mean the difference between you looking at the navel or looking between the knees in downward facing dog. Another example would be in a twisted pose. So just a simple twist. You're going to come into a twist to the right side. Okay, we inhale to find length through the vertebra, and then we twist through the mid back. We rotate through the thoracic spine, gazing over the right shoulder. Now this would be called Parshva Drishti. It means side Drishti. Okay? Parshva Drishti, side Drishti. Every pose has its own Drishti. Every pose has its own looking place. And that is to draw our attention in from the external stimuli around us. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Another one. I'm not re-recording this, I've done it 3 times already. So, Drishti is our looking place, and it will help you massively in your practice. One more really important thing I wanted to share about how Drishti has evolved for me in my practice, and just such a, it's just a word, isn't it? We don't think it can have such a huge impact on our practice, but it can. And my teacher John taught me something that stuck with me and I always use every time I practice, and that is the moving Drishti. So John always explained to us that, say you've got your yoga mat out in front of you, you imagine or you draw a line right through the middle of the mat. Then so you've got the floor, the mat is on the floor, and then in front of you you're going to have a wall or something, unless you're outside. Draw that line or imagine that line going up the wall in front of you, and then continuing from that mat line, wall line, ceiling line is going above your head as well. Okay, so having that in mind, you've got an imaginary line going from in between your toes while you're in Samasthiti, along the floor, up the wall, up to the ceiling. So when you come into upward facing dog, hands plant, we will inhale, look along the floor, still inhaling, looking along the wall in front of you, still inhaling, look along the ceiling, inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And what you'll notice is, by following that drishti, you're opening your chest so beautifully. It's like a slow, controlled, gentle expansion of the chest, opening out. It feels incredible. It feels so much better than the way I used to do it, when I'd plant my hands down, inhale, head straight back, nearly break my neck. So we must be so mindful of the head. Remember, the head is an extension of the spine. It's not on its own, it's an extension of your spine, and we want that beautiful control of the spine. Okay, so Drishti is your unmoving focal point, looking place. And if you have any questions about where to look in your yoga practice, don't look, close your eyes or blindfold yourself and see how that feels. But this is it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or message me. You can contact me at Ashtanga Yoga Shropshire on any of the social medias, or email me. The website is ashtangayogashropshire.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.